Welcome back to Sunrise Daily. Well, now we turn our attention to security. Captain Ali Umar joins us this morning to give us his perspective on our next focus. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Good morning.
I mean, we read yesterday, in fact, he also said it, the president, while he was in Cotonou, that look, by the end of this year, the MJTF, Multinational Joint Task Force, would have succeeded in routing Boko Haram before the end of this year. So the implication is that the headlines was then casted saying we will end Boko Haram by December. So with what you've seen on ground, do you think that's possible?
Yeah, very possible indeed. And that will depend on the coordinators now. At the president's level, he's an influencer. We're now looking at the coordinators, the commanders. If your president says it's going to end by December, he's virtually giving you his working brief.
Doesn't that presuppose that, I could be wrong though, you could correct me if I'm wrong, that they're approaching this militarily only? Because we've had international persons when they travel say, look, you can't defeat Boko Haram using military tactics alone. Knowing full well that, look, you have cells too, and you don't just say, yes, we'll wipe them all out before this year when you don't know where all the cells are.
That's true. Terrorism is not a military problem entirely. I prefer to look at it as a human problem. It's human-driven. So the dynamics of terrorism are not really in field operations as in military engagements. They also come in other, other realms. So basically what we should be doing alongside military operations is profiling that human being called a terrorist. And when you profile him within the environment he subsists. And you begin to see those areas you can actually leverage upon.
So when you say, or when we hear the president say that, they're going to end Boko Haram by December, and you agree with him?
Yes, I do.
What does that mean?
That means across board, people have to pull their notepads out and start doing what is required to drive the success of that statement. If you told your driver you were traveling tomorrow and you're going to your village, what does that mean? He's going to buy fuel, he's going to do a lot of things. So the president can actually speak, as I said, at his level and say, this is where I want to go. And then his commanders, his coordinators will bring to the table what is required.
But by that, when I say what does that mean, I mean there are certain expectations that Nigerian people will have of that particular statement. For instance, we should not be seeing any suicide bombings after December.
Yes.
We should not hear of certain things after December. But can that really be the case?
That's putting it ideally. What we should be expecting by December is a very considerable, very, very considerable, elimination of suicide bomb occurrences, infractions on our territories by these people and claiming grounds they take here, they take there. We're going to see an upgrade in all those areas that were exploited by these people, like our borders. Okay, we're going to see an upgrade in what you call a more robust immigration approach to doing their jobs. We're going to see policing come up and rather properly. We're going to see even military operations begin to take, what you call a robust perception of building from December upward, because getting to December and stopping it is stage one. Then there is stage what next? Sustaining it, holding it that way. So you find out that for me, it's interesting, it's exciting, it's a challenge.
But I haven't really seen, that's what maybe we should point out, I haven't really seen from the strategies we've seen them talk about and itemize severally the part that there's a second stage.
Yes, indeed.
I haven't seen that because, yes, even if you flood the LCBC with soldiers of MJTF, you flood Benin Republic with all of those, if it stops by December. What about police?
Exactly.
They have a very great reach in the country and they could help out with identifying, also helping with some of those cells. I haven't heard any plan for the police as regards this terrorism fight.
Yes, indeed. I have not had any too, but I can assure you that it has to start from somewhere, then it spreads. And that's why I told you, when the commander-in-chief speaks, the fact that he's talking about insurgency doesn't mean he's talking to the defense chiefs alone. You have to glean off what you can anticipate as being your role in what he has said to drive the successes. You have to anticipate what should be coming.
Shouldn't he participate in these meetings, the IGP?
Of course, the police, the paramilitary, even up to what I can call the what do you call them, civil defense and other allied organizations have a role to play. Fighting terrorism is one big party with so many fronts, and all of them must actually merge and sync, or else if one ails, they will exploit that area. So we're looking at youth development, we're looking at tolerance across board, both ethnic, religious. We're looking at policing down to the ward level now. I wouldn't even say local government. We're looking at community policing. We should be seeing the police bend towards community policing. We're looking at immigration, getting to know much more than they do. Immigration should be no more state capital, heavy, but you're looking at the SSS. So what you are looking at is taking it down to the grassroots, because the terrorists, they are not in cities, they are in the countrysides.
Captain, what you've seen so far,
yes,
does it paint a picture of this things you're expecting to see? Do you see things moving towards that level?
Yes, I do, because I'll tell you for one thing for sure. The kind of person we have at the helm of affairs as in our president may be slow, but he's tenacious. He's going to take each and every one of them one after the other. And as one falls into place, there will be collateral benefits or dividends. Let me give you an example. There's a popular refrain now that there's a new sheriff in town. That alone has gotten certain things. They're beginning to, what I say, self-adjust, because people know that this is the brand you have there now. So I see a situation where it's starting with the military, yes, secure grounds, take back our territories, build back confidence, and then the other allied security agencies will leverage on that. They key in on that and exploit the advantage the military can actually create by, going in there and getting back grounds and doing some more serious work than they have been doing before.
Okay, the spokesperson for the army yesterday announced a capture of one of the military commanders.
Yeah.
Now, the Boko Haram also released a video yesterday without their...
Yeah, indeed.
Okay. But then some other people looked at it and said the video was more professionally done than it was, pointing to their allegiance with IS. Now, what does that say of the insurgents? The
insurgents, for now, I like to approach the insurgents and their wiles from the critical thinking position. Critical thinking is simply like doing it reversely. If, for example, I was told Nyota is the head of
a cell.
Not a cell now.
No, he's
not a cell now. Nyota is the head of a group and they make so much money. Naturally, what we do as intelligence agencies, we go out and start looking for all the reasons why we should believe that. So the first thing we see about money around you, we just clamp in and say, yes, he has so much money. Doing it critical thinking wise in the intelligence profession is, okay, Nyota is the head of this group. I look for every reason around him that debunks it. If you do that, okay, depending on what you find and how much you find, the less you find, the stronger the claim stands.
Not the more you find.
Not the more you find. So let me give you an example. If we had evidence now that you are sitting on a mother load of funds, and they say, oh, he has a car, he has a private jet, he has this and that, fine.
Captain, what are you seeing?
Yes.
So I'm almost there.
I'm stretching your... So I say, fine, we do have that. Now let's go look for evidence that debunks all of this. If we find more, then you find out that what we know may not stand. If we find less, then it means even if we prosecute you, what we find will stand the test of any smart lawyer.
Let's apply it to this insurgents now.
Now the insurgents, I see a film, Imam Shekau doesn't show up. So a lot of people are saying, oh, it's likely he's dead or he's injured. I know Shekau from his films. I've profiled him. He's not somebody given to masking himself. He will not want to do a film by proxy. That's strong. But I'll go look for reasons why I should believe he's no more or he's incapacitated or injured.
Especially when they also identify that the films is now more professional.
Exactly. So when you think along that line, you take to a very greater degree out the possibility for deception. So he can't throw me off his trail until I get enough reasons to debunk the fact that he's dead, rather than look for enough reasons to confirm the fact that
So are
he's
they
dead.
supposed to be as they were or at ease?
Exactly. So whether Shekau shows up in his video or he doesn't show up, for me, changes nothing. We will maintain the same momentum and we'll still keep an all out for him. So if there is chance that that is deceptive, it may not get me off guard, because I'm not going to be looking for facts that confirm he's dead, but I'll be looking for facts that debunk he is dead.
But, you know, that also brings out another dimension to this. If they're already beginning to say that, you know, IS is supporting Boko Haram, it means that we're not just dealing with Boko Haram now. In the future, we don't know what kind of support they could be getting from IS and what dimension the war could take.
Yes, politically, analytically, that counts. But then you find that the battlefield, the center of operations still remains here. I can support them. I actually analyzed the IS thing. If you look at distances, if you look at operational direction, if you look at courses, you find that if the IS decides to back Boko Haram, it doesn't change anything for us. We are still having one goal, and it's to get them off our region, to make our region unattractive for them on all fronts. IS and whoever can decide to support them. It doesn't change anything.
Okay, thank you very much indeed, Captain Aliyu Omar, now a security consultant. Always a pleasure to have you.
Thank you very much.